Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome
Yeah.
to a new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Cota, and my special guest host, Mr. Allen Williams, former Japan Tokyo pro professional football player. And today's special guest, we got our first bodybuilder slash gym trainer and firefighter. He's been holding it down for a minute. It's been a competition 2021, 2022, 2023. This
Mm,
guy is all into health and fitness. Y'all
mm.
help me welcome the
Absolutely.
Caleb, the contender,
Mm.
Caleb Walker. What's going
My
on, Caleb?
guy.
Thank you for that lovely intro, man. I'm happy to be here with you guys today.
Hey, appreciate it, man. I see
Yeah.
that you just getting off. You got your uniform on. For the people that don't know you, let them know where you from and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, man. So ripe old age of 39, born and raised in Louisiana. Uh, grew up in a less than average type of home. Um, joined the service at 18.
Mm,
Met with my man Allen, my first
mm.
man. We served together for about 3 years.
Yeah,
And yeah, and I haven't seen that guy for 17 years.
Wow.
man.
Yeah, man, that's so funny.
But a great way to connect.
Oh, what a great way to connect.
Man, I'm telling you, man. This guy right here, man. Oh man, he's to take care of me, man. Man, uniforms, press, everything, man. And he always was solid, man. He was a solid guy. Uniform press, man, waves in the hair, man. Always, his appeal, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I knew he was gonna be something. I don't know if he's gonna be something in the military, but I always knew he gonna be something because he always, his appearance, man. He always wanna like they always say like appearance is the first impression, man. So this guy right here, man, great guy, great heart, man. I already knew he was gonna be something.
That's great, man.
Appreciate that, man.
So Caleb, tell us a little bit about the area you came from and what was your first sport that you was introduced to.
Cool. Okay, so small town Louisiana, city of Alexandria. There's not a lot outside of the basic baseball, basketball, football, those kinds of things. Those are the big three in my city. And I didn't really grow up on playing organized ball. Street baller, played everything. Very active kid. And I grew up in that era, the late 80s, early 90s era where every cartoon was built like a bodybuilder. Every action figure was built like a bodybuilder. We grew up in the Stallone era.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan of just the muscle bound type of guy, man. You know what I mean? And I've always wanted to look like that. And I just never really had any direction to really get there. But it wasn't until I joined the service was when I really found that foundation, man. And I got to really like embark on it, that type of thing.
All right, go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, man. So first thing I always ask, man,
Yeah.
as everybody is, the world today and everything. So, man, Caleb, how's your mental?
How's my mental? Well, I'll tell you, the experiences that you and I share
Yeah.
on top of, the things that us guys here see on this fire department, man, it's very important that we have systems in place to help us process almost every single day. So like me, I make sure that the necessities are in front of me. Clean diet.
Yep.
I can tell you, I have a much better day mentally and physically if I'm eating better food throughout the day. You know what I mean? So that's most important for me. Make sure that I don't miss my gym workouts. Because we all have our systems in place that help us process our days, right? So there's some guys out here, unfortunately, they pick up a bottle,
Right.
cigarettes or whatnot. So for me, I found my system with the weight room. It just helps me just stay grounded.
Gotcha.
For a short answer, I could say that my mental's very well.
Good.
Very well.
So what inspired you to take it to the next level? I know a lot of people work out just to stay in shape or stay fit.
Right.
But for yourself, what made you say I'm gonna take a serious lifestyle change and I'm gonna do it competitively?
Well, well, like I said, it wasn't until I joined the Fitzgerald, the USS Fitzgerald, that's the name of the
Yep.
ship that
Yep.
Alan and I served on. And it wasn't until then where I had a solid gym regimen.
Mm-hmm.
And almost every day, man, I was in the weight room and I just grew like a weed.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to notice that I was really good at it over time. And so when I came back to the United States after I started my term, I set a goal to eventually jump into competitive bodybuilding. I wanted to make sure that I was, ready to actually do it first. So I may have been back in the U.S. for a good 5 or 6 years before I, really jumped the gun on it.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember, hitting that gym up on the ship and stuff like that, man, because, I was hitting that gym up as well. But I
There's
don't,
nothing
I
else to
don't
do
know
out
now.
there.
Yeah, I don't know now, bro. But yeah, I remember, man. It's it's a mental thing. When we was on those deployments, bro, and that's all we had, man. The gym, to stimulate our mind, because we miss our family and things of that nature. But going forward, man, like what no, tell the folks, like, how mentally and physically you have to, like, just stay focused, especially in bodybuilding, with all the, the meal preps, the time away from your family, the going to the gym, and I want to do family day, but I have a competition, but I have to go to the gym. So
Right.
just tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely, man. So there's some sacrifices that you have to give away. Some of the simple pleasures of partying every weekend or spending more time with your family. But you can try to fit those things into play. But you have to make time for the gym, for the weight room, for effective workouts. And although most of the time those effective workouts aren't going to come if the food isn't in place, if you're not getting sleep, the right amount of sleep every night. So staying up late to enjoy a good movie, these things that you have to give up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the food, which is everybody struggles with it. You know what I mean? Well, even me. And so, giving up those simple pleasures of, enjoying that dessert at the restaurant when you just had that good meal. You got to say, I'll pass on the dessert.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just enjoy the food, the regular food. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So those kinds of things. And bodybuilding itself is a sport of evolution. So you have the pressure of constantly evolving. So every year you have to get better. You have to better your last appearance, per se, because they will judge you on how you looked the last time you stepped on the contest stage.
Definitely.
Right. So if you're not evolving, then you kind of put yourself at a disadvantage. And you kind of lose that relevancy of of being a big name in the sport. Like I said, the sport it requires constant evolution. And with that evolution comes a lot of work that a lot of people don't get to see, like giving up those simple pleasures and not missing a meal, not missing a workout, going to bed on time, and not providing any kind of excuses to not be able to do those things. They're just you have to make the time for them because the judges don't care that you have 3 children. Like myself, I have 3 kids. The judges don't care.
Mm-hmm.
How do you look on game day? They're not going to cut me a break because I work ridiculous hours on a job. You know what I mean? And understanding that everyone on that contest has gone through something.
Yes, sir.
To go to be on that stage that day. So you can't go in it with the mindset of thinking, oh, you had the hardest road to get there. You have no idea what these other people had to embark on or had to endure, to get ready for a contest. It is not easy.
Yeah.
Some guys, it's a little easier. Most people, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
But it's a learning curve, after each one that you get done with, and you have to take, whatever critiques that you get from those judges. If they tell you need to, bring a wider back for the next contest, or you need a bigger chest for the next contest, or you need bigger legs for the next contest, you have to take the time off to make those improvements before you come back. If you just ignore that and just come back to the stage, and they're not putting you over, or they're not, standing you next to the top guys, it's nobody's fault but your own.
Gotcha.
It's no one's fault but your own. So just like I said, man, it's just a game of constant evolution. And so once you can come to terms with that, then you can put yourself in a better place to just grind it out every single day, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into a clip. We show show our guests and everybody that's watching. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Also follow Caleb's page on YouTube as well. We're gonna go ahead and get into one of his workouts, just like he said, certain areas target. Into the clip. I don't own the rights to the video or the music. Caleb, stay with us, okay?
Sure.
All right.
Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
Run for your life. Your life. Run for your life. Run for your life. Run for your life.
Yes, sir. We back. That was a nice clip.
Yeah, nice clip, man.
So talk about the cardio. How much do you run on leg day?
Let's see. It all depends. Usually a contest preparation would consist of maybe 4 or 5 months. Towards the beginning, we're talking half an hour of cardio.
Okay.
But towards the end, as the body fat comes down, the body starts resisting. So you have to start grinding out a little bit more. So that 30 minutes can turn into an hour. Depending on how far along you are, it could turn into an hour and a half. That's just the game. It all depends on where you are as far as that definition wise, man. And so if you can get in shape much sooner, then you can start backing off on it. But I think the worst for me was maybe up to about an hour and a half 1 year. Every single day. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Yeah, it was not fun.
So Caleb, I want you to tell the importance, because you got a lot of people who work out in the gym, a lot of bodybuilders who work out in the gym, but they skip leg day. I want you to tell the importance. Stop being built like Bluto or Popeye. I want you to tell the importance, how important is to work in your leg, and vice versa to work in your chest.
Right. Okay, well, I'll try to throw some tips out there. So,
all right.
Working out your legs, fellas, is good for boosting your testosterone and maintaining it. So legs, right? And we don't want to be out here with peg legs and big arms, man. Like, come on now. Come on now. I know it's hard, man. But especially out here in Florida, man. Like, go to the beach every weekend, man. Come on. It's Hoochie Daddy season now. So we want Hoochie Daddy.
You're right.
So, Caleb, rewind a little bit. Let's talk about high school, and then we'll go into you going into the military. When you started in high school, what sports did you play?
Well, same, man. Basketball, football, those kinds of things. And I was big in the weight room.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was doing, but I just enjoyed being in there. You know what I mean? I had no idea what I was doing. I'll say the closest thing I had to just consistency was my dad handed me a curl bar when I was like 10 years old. And I curled that thing on bar every single day, man. I just wanted big arms. I mean, and everybody looking at their dad when they're a kid, their dad looks huge. Yeah. So, and my dad showed me how to use it, and the game was over, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So there was no real organized ball in high school for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fast forward, you're in high school and stuff like that. So, what persuades you to join the Navy? Like, what is there any influence or any recruiters? Like,
It was more on the recruiters side of
Mhm.
side of the spectrum, man. A kid like myself, and I'm just gonna be full transparency here, man. A kid like myself, who I grew up in, rough neighborhood, man. There wasn't a lot of positive influence, a lot of good direction there. And lucky for me, I was in talks with some recruiters who just guided me towards the end of high school and towards where boot camp started. And so, shout out to those guys because God knows if I was still in the city, man, with the mentality that I had back then, I'm still, who knows where I'd be right now. But
yeah, man.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
definitely, most definitely.
All right. So you get in the military. Which area were you stationed in?
My first station was on the USS Fitzgerald with my man Allen. And talk about the best time of my life, man. These young kids out, and we go to Tokyo like every weekend and just have a ball, man. And but don't get me wrong, when it was time to work, it was time to work. And we were they call it forward deployed. So when they announced the deployments, we would have to be ready to go within like a week, 2 weeks notice, and we'd be going months at a time. Grinding it out, man. So, shout out to those guys who, still out there handling business, man. Because I tell you right now, I couldn't go back and do it anymore. So, Alan, do you remember when? So we served on the USS Fitzgerald, right?
Yeah.
You heard about the tragedy that happened.
Matter of fact, I got them when I was over there, bro. I was on the Blue Ridge and I got them in, man, and I saw the whole thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a sad night, man. They were tired. They were drained, man. But I saw the whole thing. Yeah, I did. I was just
Understand. Yep. So other than your father, they introduced you to your first curl ball. Who else did you look up to in fitness and health?
Oh, let's see. Well, I grew up in that 90s era of bodybuilding. See, when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure you guys may have seen it at some point in time, but bodybuilding was on ESPN.
Yeah.
And whenever it was on, man, I was locked in.
Right.
I was a big fan of it. Because I just had this infatuation for just being muscle bound. And so that was my guidance. And when I got to the Fitzgerald back in 07, back in 05, that's when the Ronnie Coleman videos started dropping. YouTube. That's when YouTube came out. So all the fitness videos started appearing, man. And so I was on that. I was on the Ronnie Coleman stuff, and I was a big fan of Ronnie, bro. And and back then they had the muscle magazines.
Muscle fitness. Yeah.
X magazine.
Yeah.
So and I subscribed to all of them. And I had all of them coming to the ship, man. And so, it was, I surrounded myself in the world of weightlifting when I joined the ship, man, because I just wanted to just see what I could do with it. Because I knew that I had a love for it. Same love I still have for it today. I can't tell you exactly where it came from, but I think it's just an accumulation of just from being a kid up until now. You know what I mean? Yeah, most definitely.
Yep,
definitely. Hey, so let's go to deployment, man. Let's go to like just the mental, because like I said, you said we left, and we we had last minute calls and stuff of that nature, but give the audience the idea of just being on deployment, right, serving, doing missions, but also like maintaining your your ability to work out and things of that nature. Also get the knowledge of like how we had to create things because small ship, rough waves,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just get a narrative and get a creativity of how you had to like create things in the weight room and things of that nature and work around your schedule.
Absolutely, man. So, who you have to get used to the fact that every day is going to be routine.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, I mean, Monday through Sunday.
Yep.
Even our Sundays we work.
That's right.
Especially when you're on deployment, there's really no day off.
No.
And so, getting used to that, and like I said, putting the system in place that's going to help you get through the day and not lose it, months on end, because there could be deployments where we go port somewhere every 2 weeks. There could be deployments where we don't port anywhere.
That's right.
We're out to sea for 2 months at a time, 3 months the whole time. What I mean? So just having your systems in place, just to help you process whatever it is. And I mean, we're talking video games, we're talking, hopefully, hopefully these guys aren't bringing bottles with them on the ship, man. But hey, just talking to whoever you need to talk to, and not really suppressing any kind of emotions when you're on deployment like that. That's probably just the worst way, one of the worst things you could possibly do.
Yeah.
You just not have a place or someone to vent to, someone to really that understands what you're going through. And just building a camaraderie with your boys. That you work with. Try to have fun with them the best way that you can, because these guys, even after your service, man, some of these guys you're gonna grow old with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, just enjoy them. And it's all about just having a good time while you're here, man. Try to have the right mindset, while you are deployed. To just try to enjoy yourself. It's very important.
So talk about your first competition. Where was that? How long ago was it?
November 2014. Yeah, this was the big one. So I prepared for about 20 weeks. And I reached out to an old legend. He's retired now. His name is Don Long. Solid, one of the best guys of the 90s, man. And he just happened to live in Jacksonville. And so I reached out to him, and he was like, you know what, you could actually do really good at this, man. And he liked where I was at that point as far as development. And so I worked with him for about 4 or 5 months going to a contest, man. And I ended up winning the whole contest.
Wow.
That's when the fire was lit.
Wow.
That's when the fire was lit. Now, granted, I think maybe a year later, I took that win to national. National's a different game. Everybody has won something at national. Yeah, so you're not special at nationals, right? And so it was very humbling, because of course, you win a regional, which was my first contest. You win a regional, you're in clouds, your head's in the clouds, you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm about to go up here and kill it. And went up there and damn near last place. It was disheartening, man. It was a shock, because I never really got to see how big these guys really are.
Yeah.
Until I went to national, and then it was a shocker. It's like, wow, wow, they get this big, and like with this kind of definition, how did they do this? What I mean? Like, God, the genetics are one of the most important factors outside of the hard work. A lot of these guys are on drugs, but that's just the game of just understanding that some people are going to go that route, some people aren't. But let aside the genetic portion and the hard work, it can't be denied. It has to be on the forefront, right? So went up there, came in last place. And in that moment, when I got back home, I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to try it. I don't know if I want to try this again, man. You know what I mean? Because I went up here, and there's like 30 guys that were better than me. Yeah. And I'd have to work my way all through all of that, competition just to be seen. Yeah. And so I was at that moment, I was thinking, well, I can just enjoy being at the gym.
Yeah.
This is just being full transparent, man. I gave up.
Mm.
But then shortly afterwards, there was a new division that came out called the Classic Division.
Mm.
And this division, basically, they catered more towards the golden era, the 70s, 80s look, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane's aesthetics looks. And so that's when the fire relit. I was like, okay, I think I can do very well in this division.
Okay.
So all of my effort into the Classic Division. And I want to say in 2018, I tried it again. And so I took 3 years to get ready for the Classic Division. And so I did my first contest and I ended up winning, took that to the Nationals. And that was probably the most disappointing because at the National, we're talking 30, 40 guys will show up. Only first place and second place will get fed into the pros, right? So I get up there and I come in third place.
Wow.
Oh man. Yeah. And I went back to my room, man, and I just sat down for a second and the tears just came down. They just came down because I was so close. I mean, we're talking, I prepared for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so but I was so close. So I was like, okay, get yourself together. We'll try again next year. So I did that. Man, and tried again next year. Same result. Missed it by placing. But that's the game. That's the game. You have to keep coming back and you have to keep coming back better. Like I said, you have to evolve. So I just made sure that I brought a better body each time I came back. And it wasn't until 2021 where they finally put me over, man, and I ended up winning. Man, I cried backstage. I got interviewed backstage. I cried backstage. You know what I mean? So I was like,
man.
Finally, because Nationals isn't cheap. We're talking the preparation to get ready for a national competition, especially when you don't have a sponsor.
That's right.
These guys aren't going into this with any kind of NFL contracts or anything like this. Stuff's coming out of pocket, man, especially at the amateur national level here. We're talking plane tickets, competition fees, tanning fees, because everybody puts a spray tan on, even the dark guy, because there's body parts that are a little uneven. You know what I mean? The dark skin dude has to get spray tan. You know what I mean? So, hotel fees, all of this stuff's coming out of pocket, man. So, so it adds up. You know what I mean? And so it can take a toll on a lot of these guys, man. And unfortunately, some of these guys spend their last dollar to get there. I mean, I've seen guys who the whole contest preparation went on a credit card. And I just, you have to live with that afterwards, bro. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a clip from 2021.
Yeah. That's the Master Division where I turned pro.
Yeah. Well, I got a clip for 2021, and we're gonna let everybody see what you're talking about in this competition that you won. Everybody that's watching, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Spotify, Deezer, and Instagram. We have IFBB Pro Caleb Walker. All right, stay with us, Caleb. We'll be right back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
4, 5, 6, sometimes even 7 in your first call out. Again, another tough group.
I think Tyler sometimes goes up to 8.
Yeah.
Depending on who's there.
67, 92, 93, 99, 101, 173.
Yep, you're bringing out 6. Yeah. And here we go.
All right. This is the first look at the first call out in the Masters 35 class.
Yeah.
And these guys' legs are not playing.
67 and 92, switch please.
Yeah.
The 93, look how wide his shoulders
101 and 99, switch please.
So wide.
173 and 93, switch please.
Yeah, 173.
Front double bicep. Side chest.
Different physiques.
Yeah.
Like 101's got those small joints and the muscle bellies. Got feathering through the glutes.
Yep. That's the one amazing thing about this industry and this sport.
Back double bicep.
That the physiques are so different, but they all look great.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. It's unreal. Whatever division, if you're looking at classic physique, men's physique, bodybuilding, or in the women, you're looking
Face
at
front.
bikini, women's physique, figure, or wellness, whatever it may be, literally, or women's bodybuilding. It's just
93, 99
there is
switch,
such
please.
a different variation
Abdominals and thigh.
physiques, but they all look great.
Yeah. When you get the Olympia level too, you have like a lineup that has Jay Cutler, Phil Heath, and Dexter. 3 different
Yeah.
physiques. All
Your
the top
favorite
3.
classic
Oh, yeah.
pose.
So who wins? Whoever
Yeah.
puts that criteria best. In the open division, mass is kind of king. It's just how it goes. Here, it's not so much necessarily about the mass.
Relax.
Yeah.
Face
You're
front.
going to top out at a class.
Front double
You can't
bicep.
go any higher because of the weight limit and the height limit.
Side chest.
It must
Going,
be close again.
yeah,
They're
because
running
it's
through them again.
running through the second time now. They're running through the mandatories.
When it's obvious and cut and dry, they'll run through it once. And
Back
get
double
the reps.
bicep.
Yeah,
And the idea is, the goal is honestly, to run through the competitors, get the right placings, but not waste time with them on stage.
right.
Because these guys are in depleted states. They don't need to come on stage any longer than they need to be.
Yeah,
And at the same time, there's like 1,000
Abdominals and thigh.
here. So there's more competitors to get through.
yeah.
And you don't want the people backstage flattening out, et cetera, and stuff like that. That's another thing that some of you
Your
may not
favorite
know.
classic
In
pose.
order to look like this on stage, they're timing meals almost down to the minute.
Oh yeah.
So they'll come up to you and be like, what time are we going on stage? And we're not really sure because we don't know how big
Relax.
the classes are. They're trying to time their meals. So that when you get that meal in, it's digested, and when they pump up,
Thank
their
you,
stomach
gentlemen.
is
You can
flat.
file off to your right.
Food is working. They look nice and full. They're trying to figure out when to pull their water.
Yeah.
How much they can put back in.
Yes, sir. And we back.
Sir.
So,
Man.
Caleb, talk about that experience right there. There's a lot of guys.
Man.
PTSD, man. Oh man, so everybody that's been there can understand the feeling. It's one stressful day, right? Especially the more guys that show up, and they're in shape, and so you're sitting here like, whoa, gosh, I don't know if I'm going to beat this guy. I don't know if I'm going to beat this guy. So probably one of the best things to do is to just put the blinders on, put the headphones on, and just try your best not to pay attention to it, because the more stressors that get added on, it can actually fade your definition. Wow. Raise up your cortisol levels, and then your definitions fade. Now you're just swelling down a toilet bowl at this point. You know what I mean? So I would probably say, for me, the first time I went there, I'm sitting here just like, oh my God. But the few times after that, I had the blinders on, man, and I'd find me a corner somewhere, and I just literally just wait until they damn near call my name to go on stage. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it can be a very stressful day. So the best thing to do is just find your spot somewhere in the corner somewhere, and just put on your favorite music, meditate, do whatever you need to do. Man, and just get it over with, and hope for the best. You know what I mean? It's a very stressful day.
Nice. So Kayla, after that competition, you won, you cried it out and things of that nature. Like, what did you do like after that? Everything is like, is there. You got it. So now, you can go back to your old ways. You get your favorite meal, whatever. So give the folks the experience that after you've been on diets and stuff.
Oh man! So the prep where I turned professional, the contest was in September or October, I believe, and I may have started this contest prep like early in February. I've been dieting since like February, March, getting ready for this contest. So we're talking all spring, all summer. I had been locked in. And so I finally got over the hill, and that next day, and it was in Pittsburgh. Now I'm in Pittsburgh, and I just shut off. I found every ice cream, every ice cream shop. It just to celebrate the win, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every burger joint, you know what I mean? Everything that the guys were recommending backstage, the Pittsburgh locals that were there, they're like, hey, you need to go check out this place. You go check out this place. We'll write that down. We'll check out this place. You know, so just went all out, man. Just ate as much as I wanted. You know what I mean? Just for reward to myself. And of course, I regretted it the next day. You know, of course, I regretted it the next day. I felt like crap the next day. You know what I mean? In that moment, man, the win felt so good. You know, I didn't care. I enjoyed the moment. So a lot of fun. But I pigged out. I pigged out, man. So, but I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. That was that one time.
Yeah.
So talk about becoming a firefighter.
Man. So let me go back to the USS Fitzgerald. So one of our side jobs, and Alan knows this too. Everybody is a trained fireman.
Yep.
On the ship, because there's no one to save us. If something catches on fire, or if there's a breach in the hull, there's a hole somewhere, and there's water breaching, we have to save ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we trained a lot, almost every third day, on firefighting techniques and tactics and things like that. And I just took a real big interest in it. And so I told myself, when I get stationed, when I finish my tour here and I get back to the country, back to US, that if I'm still interested, then I'll start putting my efforts towards, finishing my term with the service and, transition over to the fire service. And I got orders to Jacksonville, and I took a look at the department here, and it was a real good department, solid department, one of the best if you ask me. And so I put all my efforts in trying to get hired here. And so I want to say maybe 2.5 years or to 3 years after my last day in the service, I got hired on the job.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you right. I don't know if you will repair like a 5 or 1, but I know it's one of those. But this tell the comparison to the audience. Tell the comparison of your military. Knowing your discipline and knowing your trusting others with your life, but also with your fire department, with your brothers at the fire department, like how important is for you guys to trust each other, because
Absolutely. So first and foremost, you have to enjoy the guys that you're working with, right? So you want to build that camaraderie with the guys that you're working with, and everybody has to be in sync with having a certain level of knowledge and training.
Yeah.
On whatever, whether it's military firefighting or if it's civilian firefighting, we have to be able to trust that everybody in the circle not only knows their job, but knows how to perform the job very well. Yeah. I need to know that if I go down, any one of these guys can pull me out of there. I mean, a lot of the times it's not just brute strength, it's technique.
Yeah.
There's a lot of firefighting techniques out there that there's endless techniques out there that we can use, that you can get almost the biggest guy out of a fire. You know what I mean? So there's techniques are very important. That's only going to come with practice. And just hammering that not every single day, but as a unit as often as possible. So like I said, every third day, on the Fitzgerald, we would train.
Yep. For
very good reason, man. Because the more we practice those scenarios, that mimic the real life scenario, the more efficient that we would be if something really happened. And we perform the same way here, man. We train all the time.
Good.
Yeah, as a department, man, there's always training. There's always a training and different types of training too. From search and rescue, from extrication, things of that nature. There's always training being held on this job, to maintain that proficiency, man, because that, like I said, that practice is what's really gonna make us better at this job. So, yeah.
Well, I got a clip that we can go into to show some of that. And for everybody watching, make sure you subscribe, hit that like, follow button. We got FireFighter and IFBB Pro, Caleb Walker, all right? Let's go ahead and get into it. Caleb, stay with us, all right?
Sure.
If you think that you're gonna go and accomplish something really special and be the best in anything in the world, and you think you can do it without working, you make a big mistake. Because no matter what I did, if it was in bodybuilding or in acting or if it was in the political arena, it always took a lot of work. And you got to put out, and you got to, sometimes make a lot of sacrifices. Notice, if you're not willing to work hard, forget about it. So there's another rule that is very important.
Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week.
Yes, I get up at crazy hours, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way. When we were talking in London, I was getting up at 3 because I had to be on set by 7. So whatever time my call time is. So my call time is at 7. Then you back your clock up 4 hours, and then that's when I get up and train twice. I'll get the cardio in and breakfast, and then I'll go hit the weights. Clanging and banging, we call it.
The only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. I will run.
You would not be outworked.
I will not be outworked, period. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, you might be sexier than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's 2 things. You're getting off first, or I'm gonna die. It's such a simple, basic concept. It's the guy who is willing to hustle the most is going to be the guy that just differently falls.
I always believe that the bridge between reality and a dream is work. And I always, in moments of despair and doubt and dark days, focus on the work. I show up and I work and I work and I work and I work.
The only thing that you can control that influences success in life is how hard you work, how honest you are, and how well you deal with others. You can control those variables. You can't control how lucky you are, although the more you work, the luckier you get. You have no influence on the intellectual capabilities that God did or did not give you, but you can work as hard as possible. You can be scrupulously honest so that people respect you, and you can get along with others because nobody does anything by themselves.
Yes, sir. Walker the dog.
That's solid. F-150, that's solid.
That's the game, man. That's the game, man. Fitness is very important on this job. If you don't put your fitness on a hierarchy here on this job, then you pretty much make yourself a liability. You know what I mean? So it's just very important that you can at least hold your own, man, and not only hold your own, man, but be able to help somebody else if they actually need you. You know what I mean? So the fitness here is very important. This is a very physically demanding job. And so, a lot of these guys take a lot of pride in maintaining, a high level of fitness for this job.
Man. Cool. Yeah, cool.
Absolutely.
So Caleb, what do you have going on now? I know you're a firefighter, you working.
Yeah.
Any comments ahead, or if people want to, follow you, get some of your regimen, what can they see? You got a YouTube channel. Go ahead and give people your links and stuff.
Yeah. So on the YouTube, I'm very much active on the Instagram at CalebTheContender. You can message me on Facebook as well. TikTok, I'm still trying to figure it out. But pretty much Instagram. I'm really big on Instagram. Okay. You can find me there, and I, like you said earlier, man. I also do the diet plans. I do coaching, personal training, one-on-ones for people who want to do contest prep or just general wellness, fitness, month to month. We can work out any kind of plan, with some of your favorite foods, not a problem. I've been in this game for a very long time, so I have a really good understanding, and I won't pull you too far away from the stuff that you like to eat, and still get good results from it, man. So, if you're looking for that lifestyle change, or you're looking for some guidance, some direction on getting started, come find me on Instagram, preferably. And
what about your website, CW Bodybuilding?
I have a link posted on the Instagram. It's one of the GoDaddy sites, and it just goes in a little more detail about the types of plans that I offer, the type of services, and it's just pretty much it, man. Just to make everything official, just let everybody know, just understand the game.
All right, cool.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you with one thing, man. Continue your success. Continue everything that you're doing. From an investing side, man. Make sure, and I can give you this offline, but make sure you gained your LLCs and stuff. You own your rights to your name and to everything else, and to whatever you're doing. Even it comes as simple as just your design. You get what I'm saying? Own your rights, man. Because you're going somewhere positive with this. You want to help others and stuff like that. So yeah, main thing, own your rights. Next thing, man, invest. If you don't know how to invest, ask somebody.
No, we're big here on
Just like if you know how to change oil, you go to Jiffy Lube, or you go to whatever. If you don't know how to cut your hair, guess what? You go to the barber shop.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave you that. Yeah, man. If you don't know how to do it, get somebody who know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But stay humble, stay positive, stay doing what you're doing. Make sure you always get that family love, get that wife love, get them kids love. They're your backbone. They support you. As you don't know, with deployments and stuff too, they go through the same thing you doing. So yeah, just make sure you take you taking care of that, which I know you already doing. But man, I'm so proud of you, bro, because I remember you always been tall, you always been like, you had them arms, but you know what I'm saying, but
Yeah, I had to even up everything else, man.
Yeah.
All I did, I was one of them guys. Nothing else.
Yeah, man. But man, I'm proud of you, man.
Shoot, yeah, I was one of those guys, man. I had to pull back a little bit. I pull everything else up first.
Yeah, man. But you came up, man. You came a long way. So when I saw you the first time, I was like, I know this is in the Caleb.
Yeah.
So I saw the face. I was like, yeah, this is Caleb.
Yeah.
So
the game,
man, I'm proud of you, bro.
Changed a little bit too.
Yeah, but I'm proud of you, man.
Those days, man, it was just a hobby. It's a profession now, so the game's changed.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and anything you need from me, man, you always holler.
For sure, man. For sure. I hate that we went this long.
I know, man.
Out, you know what I mean? But I know I on Facebook. I started Facebook just last year.
Yeah.
And so that's probably where my fault on that one, you know, because everybody.
Hey, it was meant to meet this time, and things happen for a reason. You get what I'm saying? So
the same week I found you, I found half the crew on the Fitzgerald. I was like, oh, okay, it was me the whole time, man.
Good. Yeah,
I'll hold that one. That's on me, man. I'm glad. It's so good to see you guys again,
man. Yeah,
glad to see that you guys are doing so well. Not only good to see you guys again, but to know that you guys are doing so well, man. That's
man.
So good here. That hits here differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it hits differently, bro.
And that's really good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the message to the youth before we head out?
To the young ones, I would say enjoy sports. But once you become a teenager, and this is just me being full transparency. I don't want to give you a cliche, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit those teenage years, man, lock into something. Find something that out of everything, every talent that you have, hone in on something. Lock in and master the craft. If you want to do well in athletics, if you want to excel at something, you're gonna have to give it the attention that it deserves, right? So lock in early and put your best efforts into it. And something good will come from it if you're putting your best efforts toward it. But I would say just hone in on something in particular. Lock in, do the homework, start grinding. That's my message to the youth, man, from a sports perspective. From a sports perspective, man, you know what I'm saying?
Always.
I love to see the kids being active, man. So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Any shout outs before we head out?
Shout out to my man Alan.
Man.
Shout out to Alan first and foremost, man, because if me and Alan didn't link up, I wouldn't even be talking with you guys today, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to my Newkirk brothers in Jacksonville, man. These guys, they've been with me from day one. Every contest, they help me prepare for each contest. And shout out to my nutritionist, Tyler. He's based out in Orlando. One of the best nutritionists in the game. And this guy gets me in shape every single contest, man. So I just had to give a special shout out to him. So, and special shout out to my Fitzgerald crew. You guys hold a very special place right here, man. And I never forget you. And I still have the pictures. I haven't opened up that big drawer yet and pulled them out, man. As soon as I find them, I swear I'm going to give them to you.
Hey, man.
I swear.
Oh, Lord, I can't wait to see them people.
No, that's what it's funny. It's going to laugh, dude. I'm screaming for it. It's so funny.
So, Caleb, would you recommend this show to anybody that you firefighter, bodybuilder?
Absolutely, man. And anybody who's a fan of sports. So this is a sports shop, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so I'm really happy that I was able to bring a different vibe, to the show, man. Like you said, it was the first bodybuilder, you know what I mean? So I was glad to bring something different to the show.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So and just to give people a different perspective, on the bodybuilding side of things, how people have to hone in and develop that mindset of constantly evolving. You know what I mean, with the sport. And that almost goes for any sport, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. Let's look at footballers from, the 80s till now.
Yeah.
I mean, just two different entities of athleticism. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, that's probably how I would approach it.
Right.
Yeah.
You coming on the show, Caleb? Didn't want to take too much of your time.
No, man.
I'm
glad to be here, bro. Glad to be here. I'm glad we did this today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. This is my first time seeing Alan for the first time in 17 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah.
Sir. For everybody that's watching, you just tuned in to a new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. I'd like to thank my special guest co-host, Mr. Alan Williams, formerly professional Tokyo, Japan, professional football player, and also like to thank my guests, Caleb the Contender. All right, this guy right here is on CW Bodybuilding. You can follow his website. Also follow him on YouTube. And we like to thank him for coming on tonight. All right, first bodybuilder and firefighter that ever came on our show. All right, y'all know the motto: it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So,
yes, sir.
And we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks.
Yes, likewise.